Rutherford Burchard Hayes, the 19th President of the United States, 1877-1881, entered history not only as a leader, but as the man whose presidency was born from one of the most controversial deals in American politics. Born on October 4, 1822, in Delaware, Ohio, Hayes grew up fatherless. His father died before he was born. Yet the young Hayes showed brilliance early, graduating with honors from Kenyon College and earning a law degree from Harvard. His career soared, a successful law practice in Cincinnati, a Union general in the Civil War, and 3 terms as Ohio's governor. But the real drama erupted in 1876, when Hayes became the Republican candidate for president. His opponent was Democrat Samuel Tilden, a popular reformer from New York. Tilden won more popular votes and appeared on the verge of victory. Yet 4 southern states, Florida, Louisiana, South Carolina, and Oregon, submitted contested results amid rampant accusations of fraud, bribery, and voter intimidation. Ballot boxes mysteriously disappeared, vote counts were altered, and both parties claimed victory in the chaos. The 1876 election descended into a constitutional crisis. Congress formed a special electoral commission, 15 men, a mix of senators, representatives, and Supreme Court justices, to decide the fate of the presidency. The commission's makeup was supposed to be balanced, but through backroom maneuvering, Republicans secured a slim majority. In the end, the commission awarded every disputed electoral vote to Hayes by a single vote margin, 8-7. That gave him 185 votes to Tilden's 184, victory by the narrowest of margins. This murky resolution became known as the Compromise of 1877. In exchange for the presidency, Hayes's allies secretly promised Southern Democrats to withdraw federal troops from the South, effectively ending the Reconstruction era and abandoning millions of newly freed African Americans to Jim Crow oppression. Though Hayes publicly denied making such a deal, historians agree that backroom bargains and political trades sealed his victory. The taint of this compromise earned him the derisive nickname, his fraudulency. Indeed, conspiracy theories and bitter accusations followed Hayes throughout his term. Tilden's supporters claimed the entire election was stolen, citing forged documents, bribed officials, and threats against black voters in the South. Some radical Democrats even whispered of plots to forcibly install Tilden by marching on Washington, a plan that never materialized but fueled nationwide tension. Hayes himself moved into the White House under armed guard, aware that his presidency rested on shaky ground. Yet, despite the scandalous origins of his term, Hayes strove to reform government. He fought political corruption, pushed for civil service reform, and clashed with powerful figures like Senator Roscoe Conkling, who ran New York's patronage machine like a personal empire. Hayes refused to distribute government jobs as party spoils, earning the wrath of political bosses accustomed to selling offices for favors and loyalty. His battle against entrenched interests became a lonely one, even within his own party. Interestingly, in private life, Hayes upheld strict moral principles. His wife, Lucy, dubbed Lemonade Lucy, banned alcohol at White House events, making his administration the driest in history. The decision sparked ridicule among Washington elites, but symbolized Hayes's broader mission to cleanse politics of vice and graft. Critics mocked the president's austere image, calling him sanctimonious, while cartoonists depicted him as a puppet president controlled by party hacks. Hayes also brought modernization to the White House. He was the president to install a telephone line, though he reportedly found it more nuisance than marvel. He introduced the first typewriter and replaced gaslighting with safer, modern fixtures. Even his inauguration was cloaked in tension. It took place in the secrecy of the White House, behind closed doors, for fear that Tilden's supporters might riot in the streets. Yet the intrigues didn't stop with his election. Hayes faced violent labor unrest, including the Great Railroad Strike of 1877, the first major nationwide strike which he crushed by deploying federal troops. Critics accused him of siding with industrial tycoons over the working class, while his supporters hailed him as a restorer of order. His hardline response exposed the growing rift between labor and government power, foreshadowing greater conflicts in decades to come. On foreign policy, Hayes took cautious steps but made waves by promoting Chinese immigration through a treaty, hoping to supply cheap labor to American railroads. This move ignited fierce backlash in the West, where anti-Chinese sentiment was boiling over into violent riots. Newspapers in California denounced him as betraying American workers, while Congress soon began drafting exclusion laws versus his policies. True to his promise, Hayes declined to seek a second term, stepping down after 4 years of turbulent governance. In retirement, he devoted himself to education, veterans' causes, and prison reform, retreating from the political swamp that had tainted his presidency. He died on January 17, 1893, leaving behind a legacy as complex as the times he lived in. A man who gained power through compromise and conspiracy, but tried to rule with conscience. Today, historians view Hayes with mixed judgment. His rise to power remains a monument to political intrigue, but his earnest effort to reform civil service, resist party machines, and modernize the presidency hint at a leader caught between idealism and the hard realities of his era. In the end, Hayes's presidency stands as a cautionary tale of how noble intentions can be forever shadowed by the means through which power is won.